Alright, this is a 2014 Challenger. We're going to do the fuel pumps on it. Let's see if it will do the weird starting. Daughter's having problems starting it. I don't know. Every time I get it, it starts just fine. So, anywho, I got new pumps for it. We're going to put them on. Alright, step one, push seats up, take the seat out, pop the trunk so we can disconnect the battery. Hope there's not a bunch of stuff in the trunk, because get to the battery, it's under the carpet. And the first side of the seat popped up real easy. This one's doing me wrong. Let me get two hands on it. Alright, step two, disconnect the battery. Did the negative first, then the positive. Don't close your trunk lid or you'll be crawling through, pulling this little latch through the back seat. So don't close it, just sit it down. Alright, now we need to get these covers off. They come off real easy if you got fingernails. Today I don't got no fingernails. I said easy, but alright, they don't come off easy. They come off hard. Get you a screwdriver. The other one's under here, matching. That's where your fuel pumps are. Not easy to get to. At least you don't have to drop the tank. This is a quarter full, so let me get a flathead screwdriver, pop those off. Okay. Next step is to release the clip. Shouldn't be that hard. Probably gonna have to use two hands. And then pull this off. I'll need two hands because I can't pull it with one hand. Okay, now when I squeezed this and took this off, this had pressure on it. So that makes me doubt that these pumps are bad. I don't know what's going on. It's my daughter. She's having problems starting the car in the morning. I never do. So, not sure what's going on. Not sure what she's doing. So, anyway, I'm going to keep moving forward, put in these new pumps. Okay, move the electrical, move this. So now we got to get these rings off. I got the special tool, get it off of eBay. It's heavy duty, it's real thick. So basically, it goes on these tangs down in here. So it's got those two tangs and this tang, and that pushes that around. So basically, you got to, which is really weird that somebody has marked that. I mean, maybe this has had, I mean, why would they have marked them? Somebody has marked those and those. It wasn't me. So definitely somebody went in here. I just can't imagine that being factory, but all right, well, got to push those out, and they're already marked for us. That's kind of handy. Here we go. It's going to be too hard to show you. Either use a big wrench or a pipe wrench. I don't like how low this is, but it's got to go off. So it got to go towards me, and I have a pipe because they are on there strong, and you're going to have to use all your pressure to get that to pop off of those rings. So wish I could film it, but I really can't with one hand. I know you're going to want to try to just put screwdrivers on there and drive that around. Don't do it. Just buy this tool. So basically when that pops off, now these rings come off and pumps out. So it's going to spring up Uh-oh. Didn't really want to do that. Got to disconnect this and the hoses and tie a string to them and pull them that way. It sure does look like there is a lot of fuel in there for being a quarter of a tank. So maybe there definitely is something wrong. Interesting. I'm surprised those don't leak fuel and such. And with this one, gotta get that out around that one. Gonna need 2 hands. Maybe that screwdriver to pull that one up. It's stuck to the seal. Okay, now this seems pretty weird to me that this side is totally empty and that side's got fuel in it. So that's making me think something's going wrong, because this is the side that sends fuel. So if this side's bone dry and that's not sending fuel over here adequately, then there would be a problem. So I don't know that for sure, but also got to clean this gasket real place where the gasket goes in. Don't just stick your gasket in there. Have to clean that up. I got to disconnect that side with the string. Hopefully that's secure enough. I got some electric wire. So now when I pull this through, impossible to do with one hand. But anyway, it's gonna go underneath and around, and you're gonna tie back onto it and pull the string with the new one back over here. That makes sense now. Making a mess out there. Going to disconnect the string, tie on our new one, and pull it back through. All right, my thinking is that when it's sitting, that it's siphoning back the fuel to this side. And here is this one, kind of remember the orientation things. Full of fuel. What a mess. All right, here's this one full of fuel. So we got pump 1, pump 2. That sits opposite from over here. There's the pressure regulator. This sits over there and goes back and forth to that one. So that right there is the regulator. And if that regulator don't work, or this stuff don't work, it's gonna send this fuel back over to this one. So it pumps through this hose over to there and to your engine. So it's got a lot of stuff to go through over here that if that ain't right, then that could be your problem. The hose gets old, gets a hole in it. These all look fine. Well, now we know what's in that other side. A filter. Look at all that dirt. I was curious to see what was in there. I busted that off. I thought that was because it was so heavy. I thought there was a pump in there. So I don't know what's going on with that, but now we know what was in there. That was the part number. So now we know there's a really good filter in there. I guess nobody knew that there was a filter in there. And we have the regulator. That filter looks plugged up. So maybe that's why it wasn't going over there anymore. Filter is just looking pretty nasty. What was in this side was a pump. So I guess you can just order this pump. But look at this thing. It just, when I took it out of there, it just, after being dried, just fell apart. So definitely just time to get a new pump. Curious to see what was in there. Good times. All right, so now we got an empty thing, and they were talking about cleaning the tank. I'm not cleaning that tank. I don't see anything in there, or that side. I'm just gonna put fresh fuel in there. That wasn't hard. Basically 4 or 5 steps. Pretty easy. So this is your new pump. I'm going to go write a date and a part number on this. So, well, this is the top, so it's not going to see any gasoline. I was thinking that gasoline would rub off. Let me go get a marker, mark these, a date, and a part number. So when the next guy opens this 5 years from now, he'll be like, oh, this was done 5 years ago. So just reverse the steps. I'm going to kind of show you step by step, putting it back together. So let me go get a marker. I didn't like that when I was cleaning this edge, I knocked a bunch of dirt in there. That's not good. So seeing that this side is empty, good for me, right? I'm going to get in here and wipe this side of the tank out. Now theoretically, this tank should have had the same amount of fuel as the other side. So here's our chance to wipe out this side of the tank. Did not wipe out good. Let me try it again. Wring this out and do it again. I got this tied back. I'll wipe this ring off one more time. I could do that. I don't need to do it now, but definitely before I put the top ring on. Question is, if you forgot the string, could you pull it through? Good question. Could you push that over the hump? I guess if it was empty, you could stick your arm up in there and probably reach it through. All right, here we go. Things I'm having problems with. One is because they put this in the bag. It's not round, so that makes it harder to install. I was having to play with this to get it to go in a round shape. I went ahead and hooked this one up because I felt like it was pulling the wires. I couldn't adjust the wires into there, and I'm going to cut that clip because those are like twisted backwards, so I can loosen them up, put them where I want them. But this one's done, installed, pulled tight, bang. So this one's installed. All I have to do is put this piece back on, put a date on there. So this side's done. That easy. So now I'm going to work on that side. All right, the next step was to snap those two pieces in there. There was a zip tie right there. I had to loosen them because I had them bound up. But you can see right where to put those. Snap them in there, both of them. It's the return from the other side. What I don't like is this. So basically, I'm going to have to be careful to make sure that goes someplace safe. Okay, that was easy enough, but I'm keeping that on that side so that don't get bound up over here, because this is going to have some play to go back in there and twist. So it is going to have some pressure on it. So next thing we got to do is hook that up from the bottom and drop that in there without pinching anything. I'll take a little bit of skill. So we have this one from the other side and that one from that side. All right, now this is going to take a little skill level because you had to kind of get that in there. So when you press this down, you got to make sure none of those wires are pinched when they go down. You don't want them pinched in the spring. You don't want them pinched in nothing. So you gotta have to make sure that you're kind of watching that when you put it down into position. They ain't going up in these springs. O-rings got to go on. So it just goes over this, goes in that track. So you got pretty good skill level here to do a couple things at one time. Make sure the gasket's on, make sure nothing's getting pinched, make sure that's getting pushed down. So that looks pretty good to me. I want to do it with two hands. See, it just slipped off. Can't slip off. Got to go perfect. Hold it down, put this on there. Got a whole lot of things going on. I'm thinking it's possible I have the wrong pump because it will not go down all the way. Will not go down past right there. Interesting. All right, definitely a defect here of some sort. So I know they sell ones for two different tanks, a 19 and an 18. So hopefully I can just pull these legs off and switch them. Otherwise I'm going to be using that top. So let me see if I can pull these out. All right, this went from a skill level 2 to a 10 real fast. Trying to figure out to use the original because those are too long. The other thing you could have done is just got a cutting wheel and cut those off shorter so they would fit down in there. I guess that's another option if this doesn't work, but I don't like using an old top. I'd rather have a new one, but it should be fine. Got this snapped in place. It looks like there's some colored spots, but I'm not taking that off to put that back in the right place. That was too hard. So thank goodness for the tool to make that work. Now you basically, I want to go fill it up, make sure there's no leaks, don't get carried away. Maybe put half a tank, drive around, splosh around, see if this is leaking before I put everything back. You do have to put this back, obviously. So you can just peek in here. It's not like you're not going to be able to peek up in there. There you go, that goes like that. None of the wires got changed, hopefully. So should be able to plug that in and make sure that's working good before you commit to covering this up, putting the seat back. But just a peek in here is no big deal. Let me go check that out, make sure it's working, put some gas in it, put the battery back. So basically it's a done deal besides putting the seat back. Let me go put some gas in there and try it out. All right, here's a video of those fuel pumps. Now you can hear those suckers ripping. Oh yeah, that's got some good pressure. Well, we'll go put some gas in it, make sure we don't got no leaks, because it would not be good to have a fire. I'm a little worried about this because I can hear this one ripping, but maybe it's pushing fuel over here to this side. I don't know what's going on. Anywho, hopefully we'll hear that stop once we go fill it up, not having so much racket. Let me get some fuel in here. All right, I'm at the fuel station. That's 5 gallons. What's going on here? So let me put in some more. All right, sad truth is at $60, put in 50 gallons. So we know both tanks are working because I've had that happen before. It went above half. So when one of those sending units isn't working, it does some weird stuff. So I don't see any leaks down in there. No leaks. So when I go back, I can put the seat back. Fairly comfortable, and everything's good. Just probably shouldn't mess with that while it's going. Bam! Snaps and pops fuel all in your face. That just doesn't seem very good. All that pressure going right there on that 90. Should have a curve on it like that instead of just, can't believe that. It just seems so sketch. Got in here, it said it's empty. Now it says 306. So it's telling you how far you can go. So I like that. So it should be good to go. All right, A+ job. Overcame some obstacles. Put the date on there, 9/9 of 23. 9/9 of 23, even on the old factory top. So this snaps back in. This snaps back in. Everybody's happy. Put the cover back on. I'm gonna need 2 hands. Get that one done. All right, put this stuff back the way it should, because I was making a lot of noise. Gotta work on that piece. Put the seat back in. I'm done. All right, A++, seat back, all your business. Get a few hugs from your family for helping them out. Cost $200, $60 worth of gas. All right, I spent a whole lot of time trying to research these, and that's what I bought. FPA, and that's for a 19-gallon tank. It wouldn't fit. The only other one I could find, 61126. The pressure's higher on these, and it said it was for flex fuel, but it did not say anything about being an 18-gallon tank. So I don't know, you'd probably have to research the original part number and base your purchase decisions off of that.